So good morning students. In the last class we were talking about the spermatogenesis. Once we will recall that thing, spermatogenesis. Okay, spermatogenesis means that is the process of formation of sperms which is taking place in seminiferous tubules. Okay, seminiferous tubule which is a structure of a testis. Okay. So here the seminiferous tubules are going to produce the sperms. The next thing here, how that sperms are going to divide. That is going to first spermatogonia. That is going to produce from the sperm mother cell, that we are calling it as the spermatogonia. First of all, the spermatogonia, it will be diploid. It will undergo into a process of division, that it is the mitosis, to form the two cells. Then repeatedly like this mitosis division will take place. Then further each cell or each spermatogonia will undergo into the second division, that here you see this we can call it as the primary spermatocyte. So this one will undergo into the next division, that is the meiosis 1. Okay, meiosis 1 division here which will form the two haploid cells. Okay, these haploid cells we can call it as the secondary spermatocyte. Again, this secondary spermatocyte will undergo into the second meiosis division. Okay, to form the four cells, and that will be haploid chromosome. Okay, these four cells we can call it as the spermatid. This will undergo into a process where a physiological changes are going to take place, and that process we can call it as the spermiogenesis. What it is? Spermiogenesis. So these cells will become tadpole in structure, and they will release from the seminiferous tubule. And whatever the sperms which are releasing from the seminiferous tubule, that process we can call it as the spermiation. What do you mean by spermiation? Process. It is a process where sperms releases from Sertoli cells. Sperms releases from the seminiferous tubule. That we can call it as the spermiation. So this is about what? About the spermatogenesis, what we had studied in the last class. Now next we will see about the hormonal control of spermatogenesis. Hormonal control of spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis. Here, in the hormonal control of spermatogenesis, first of all, the spermatogenesis will start at the age of puberty. Okay, here spermatogenesis starts at the age of puberty. Puberty means that is in age between 12 to 15 years. Okay, at this age the sperm starts to form. Okay, from the seminiferous tubules. The next thing, what happens during the puberty? Why at the age of puberty the spermatogenesis is going to take place? There is an increase of some hormones. And what are that hormones? Means increase in the secretion of gonadotropin releasing hormones. The first point, at the age of puberty, what it causing for spermatogenesis. Here it increases. See, due to the increase of some hormones, and that hormone is known as GnRH. What is the full form of GnRH? Means it is gonadotropin releasing hormone. What it is? Gonadotropin releasing hormone. So here, due to the increase in gonadotropic releasing hormone, there will be spermatogenesis is going to take place. Already you had studied in class few first term about the gonadotropin. Here the gonadotropic releasing hormone, it is going to release from one part of the brain, that is from the hypothalamus. Okay, this NRH, it is releasing from the hypothalamus of the brain. That's why we are calling it as the hypothalamic hormone. What it is? This is one of the hypothalamic hormone. Means it is going to secrete from the hypothalamus. This is one of the parts of the brain. Hypothalamus of the brain. From the brain, that is from the region which means that is the from the hypothalamus, this hormone is going to secrete, which is that one GnRH. So here the increased level of GnRH acts on the anterior pituitary, which is secreting from the hypothalamus. After that, this higher level or high level of GnRH acts on anterior pituitary gland. See, pituitary gland, it is one type of gland which is present in the brain. Okay, so there the pituitary is divided into two parts, anterior pituitary gland and one more, that it is the posterior pituitary gland. So this GnRH acts on which pituitary gland? That is on the anterior pituitary gland. Acts on anterior pituitary gland. Okay, see here GnRH, and first of all GnRH releasing from the hypothalamus. Next, it acts on the anterior pituitary gland. Okay, then from this anterior pituitary gland, two gonadotropins are going to secrete, or two hormones are going to secrete. From where? From the anterior pituitary gland. What is that? Means, see, pituitary gland stimulates the secretion of two gonadotropins. Means what? Gonadotropins. These are hormones which stimulates the gonads, that is the testes, to secrete what? To release the sperms from the seminiferous tubules. Okay, stimulates the secretion of, and that is of two types. What are the two gonadotropins? I will write here. It does stimulate the secretion of two gonadotropins. What are the two gonadotropins? Means one is LH and one more is FSH. This is very important. Okay, LH means luteinizing hormone, and one more FSH means follicular stimulating hormone. What it is? It is follicular stimulating each seminiferous tubules. Okay. The next thing here, and this follicular stimulating hormone, see, LH acts on the Leydig cells, which stimulate the synthesis and secretion of androgens. Then this luteinizing hormone acts on the Leydig cells, means these Leydig cells will start to release the androgens, secretes androgens. Androgens means which are the male sex hormones. Okay, which are going to secrete from where? Leydig cells. This is 1 mark question. Okay, Leydig cells secretes what? That is the androgens. Okay, the next this FSH acts on the Sertoli cells. Acts on Sertoli cells. What are Sertoli cells now? These are somewhat elongated cells. See here, this is the seminiferous tubule, this is the germinal epithelium. In between that, there will be elongated type of cells, bigger cells. These cells we can call it as the Sertoli cells. Okay, so this FSH acts on the Sertoli cells. For what reason? To secrete some of the hormones. See here, when it acts on the Sertoli cells, it stimulates the secretion of some factors. It stimulates the secretion of some factors. Okay, and which helps in these factors helps in the process of spermatogenesis. Helps in the process of spermatogenesis. Once again, I will tell you about the hormonal control of spermatogenesis. At the age of puberty, what is going to release means that is GnRH, gonadotropic releasing hormone. From where it is releasing? That is from the hypothalamus. From there, it will act on the anterior pituitary, or it will stimulate the anterior pituitary gland to secrete two gonadotropins. That one is luteinizing hormone and one more is FSH. Okay, in short, I am explaining gonadotropic hormones releases from the hypothalamus, acts on the anterior, which stimulates the secretion of two hormones. One is luteinizing hormone and the other is follicular stimulating hormones. Okay, this luteinizing hormone acts on Leydig cells. FSH acts on Sertoli cells. Okay, Leydig cells will secrete the androgens. The Sertoli cell secretes some factors. So that factors are necessary for what? For spermatogenesis. Understood? So this is about what? Hormonal control of spermatogenesis. Next we will go for the structure of a sperm. Next it is structure of a sperm. This is also very important question for 3 marks. Okay, of a sperm. Here First, we will draw the structure. Only diagram is very important for 3 marks. So this is the ultrastructure of an human sperm, which may ask for 3 marks, only diagram. Okay. So see here, this ultrastructure of a human sperm, it is a highly specialized sex cell. Okay, which measures about 52 to 62 micron, 52 to 62 micron in length. So that is the reason we can say it is a microscopic, highly specialized cell or sex cell. Okay, highly specialized sex cells. So here it is differentiated into 3 parts. What are that 3 parts? First is the head, second is the middle piece, and third is the tail. How many parts? Here it is divided. A typical human sperm, it is divided into 3 parts: head, middle piece, then tail. Okay. So here the head is anterior, which is present at the upper portion of the sperm. Middle piece, middle region, and tail is totally at the posterior region. Okay. So here first we will talk about the head. First it is head. Here head, which is a slightly flattened and pear shaped, okay, which measures about 4 to 5 micron in length. Flattened and pear shaped, which measures about 4 to 5 micron in length. This part, this total part, from this to this part, you can call it as the head, which is pear shaped, and it consists of 2 regions. How many regions? It consists of mainly 2 regions. What are that? Means that it is nucleus and acrosome. What are the two regions of the head? It is nucleus and one more, that is acrosome. Okay, before going to that, a plasma membrane has enveloped the whole sperm. You can see this is the outermost layer, which we are calling it as the plasma membrane, which is enclosing the whole cell, not only to the head part, not only to the middle part, or not only to the tail part. To the whole sperm, it is enveloped till the end of the tail. Okay, the sperm head contains an elongated haploid nucleus. First of all, the head has two regions, nucleus and acrosome. Here, the nucleus is elongated shape, and it is haploid. Haploid means n number of chromosomes. That means 23 chromosomes will be present in the nucleus. You can see here, this is the acrosome, red color part, which is a cap-like structure. Here, the acrosome, it is cap-like structure situated above the nucleus. And this acrosome contains certain enzymes. It contains certain enzymes. These enzymes helps in fertilization. Of ova or egg. This red color part, which is a cap structure, just above the this nucleus is elongated one, which contains n number of chromosomes. That means it is haploid. What it is? It is haploid. It contains n number of chromosomes, elongated haploid nucleus, above which a cap-like structure is there, to which we are calling it as the acrosome, which contains the enzyme, and that enzyme, it will secrete when the sperm penetrate into the ova or the egg. For what purpose? For fertilization purpose. Okay, at that time this acrosome will release the enzymes so that it can easily penetrate into the ova. Next, this is about the head. Next comes a neck region. Here you can see this is the neck. This neck region has it is somewhat a small depression or making a furrow just below the head region. Okay, so here this neck region will have two centrioles. What are that centrioles? Proximal centriole and distal centriole. So these two centrioles helps in the which lies at the central axis of the sperm, and it helps during the division of the cell. The next comes the next region, that it is the middle piece, which is located just below the head region. Here in the middle piece, this is also enveloped by a plasma membrane, middle piece also, and here this axis, it is going to form an axial filament. This filament will follow, or it is present throughout the region. Okay, then above in that middle piece there is an presence of many number of mitochondria. Okay, here I will write next it is middle piece. In the middle piece there is a presence of many number or numerous mitochondria. Are present. These blue color structures which are arranged in the middle piece, these blue color structures we can call it as the mitochondria. As you know, mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cells. Okay, which provides the energy. Here also mitochondria in the middle piece, which possess numerous mitochondria, which produces the energy for movement of tail, which produces the energy for movement of tail. Who is going to produce the energy for the motility of the sperm? That is the mitochondria, which is present in the middle piece region. Okay, which produces the energy for movement of tail. That if movement of tail is going to take place, that will facilitate the sperm motility. Will facilitate the sperm motility. If sperm is not motile, then it cannot fertilize the ovum. So the sperm motility is very important for the fertilization of ovum, which is essential for fertilization. If sperm does not have the ability to move from one place to another place, they are unable to. They don't have motile energy, or they don't have energy. Means he cannot. That sperm cannot move from one place to another place. So for fertilization, it is very important. The sperm motility should be active. It should be in an active phase. Okay. So this is about what? Then lastly, this is the tail region, which is present at the posterior end, and here the tail region is mainly meant for the motility of the sperm. The next, accept this one. A human male ejaculates or releases. See here. A human male ejaculates about. Human male ejaculates. Ejaculate means releases. About how many sperms during each ejaculation? Means it is 200 to 300 million. 200 to 300 million sperms during each coitus, or during each sperms during coitus. Coitus means that is the copulation. Okay, coitus means it is the copulation. Okay, how much sperms they are going to release? 200 to 300 million sperms. Okay, if a normal sperm count means 60% of the sperm should have all these three structures. Okay, 60% of sperm should have a well-developed structures, that is head, tail, middle piece and all. And at least 40% sperm should be actively motile. Then only we can say that a human male have a normal total count of sperms. Okay, the next here, sperm released from the seminiferous tubule are transported by the accessory ducts, that is rhytidestis, vas efferentia, vas deferens, epididymitis, then to the urethra. When it comes to the urethra, there some glands will be there. Okay, already you had studied, that is prostate, bulbourethral and seminal vesicle. So all that secretions, we can call it as the seminal plasma. What are secretions? Secretions from the glands, it is known as the seminal plasma. Seminal plasma plus sperms. That seminal plasma will carry the sperms. Altogether, we can call this as the semen. What it is? That it is the semen. So, the function of male accessory ducts and glands are maintained. Whatever the functions of the ducts which are carrying the function of ducts that will carry the sperms to the urethra or the ejaculatory duct, that function